You know, you would have thought that with practically all of the sports, at least the ones anyone cares about, being canceled or suspended while this virus runs its course, that we wouldn't have had to endure the same nonsensical ramblings of some of the Mensa members from the world of athletics. Well, you'd be wrong. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Lou Alcindor, that is your real name, right, Lou?
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
Wrote an op-ed for the Hollywood Reporter for some reason, just so he could compare President Trump to Nazis. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on a special viral edition of Out of Left Field. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Lou Alcindor, I really don't care what his preferred pronouns are, wrote an op-ed for the Hollywood Reporter comparing Trump to the Nazis from the Amazon original series Hunters. For those that don't know, and heck, I'd never heard of it before doing this, Hunters is a show set in the 1970s about a Nazi hunting group headed by actor Al Pacino, recruiting a young man to help track down high-ranking Nazi officials in hiding who are also planning to create a Fourth Reich. Lou Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Alcindor wrote that the Nazis in hiding were planning a biological attack aimed at killing poor people, quote, particularly people of color, unquote. And then Paula Abdul-Jabbar decided to write the following as if his comparison was a foregone conclusion. Quote, far-fetched liberal posturing? Not if you followed the Trump administration's blame the black guy rhetoric and foot-dragging behavior in response to the coronavirus pandemic. The scenes from White House pressers remind of the gleefully unrepentant Nazis and Hunters. Because for almost 2 months, Trump, like a sneering Bond supervillain, allowed the virus to spread, knowing that poor communities and people of color would pay the greatest cost, economically and health-wise. It wasn't until it started affecting the Mar-a-Lago crowd and their businesses, and therefore his re-election chances, that the president started to take it seriously, unquote. Shut up, you dolt. Leave it to someone from the NBA to hide the fact that China knew about this virus way back in November of last year, but only chose to tell the world about it after they already had plans in place to try and contain it, if they even wanted it to be contained from the rest of the world in the first place. Abdul-Jabbar also placed blame on Trump for his administration's 2018 move to eliminate former President Obama's pandemic response team. Trump explained the problem with an assertion like the one Lou gave in his op-ed, in which he also blasted Trump for trying to point the finger at Obama by saying, quote, I don't take responsibility at all, unquote. If he actually watched what Trump said in full context, instead of just repeating what the media lied to him about like a parrot, he would have seen that Trump actually praised the Obama administration for their plan then, which addressed the problem of the size they were dealing with then, and how Trump also explained that Obama's specific plan was great for that situation then, but not for a situation of the escalating size of this particular virus.
What we have done, and we are going to be leaving a very indelible print for the future in case something like this happens again, but it was and that's not the fault of anybody, and frankly, the old system worked very well for smaller numbers, much smaller numbers, but not for these kind of numbers.
If you look at Lou Jabbar's op-ed, he sources none of his claims. He always refers to sources or health experts, but never once provides a link to back up what amounts to his hatred of the president. Now, real quick, before I continue, since Kareem Alcindor is always going on about the persecution of the black man at the hands of the white man, is it out of the realm of possibility that he might just be racist against white people himself? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, Twinkle Toes here went on to write about how the racist Trump administration and, quote, his Republican minions have been calling this virus the, quote, Chinese flu or the Wuhan flu in an effort to blame non-whites, unquote. Good Lord. This guy's 7'2", and I had no idea they stack bullshit that high. This is the garbage you get from someone who has lived in a bubble since the mid-60s. Let me break it down for you, boomer. This virus originated in the Wuhan province in China. Therefore, it's applicable to call it the Wuhan coronavirus. It's also applicable for people to call this the Chinese coronavirus.
It's not racist at all, no, not at all. It comes from China.
I would say that you don't see people trying to change the name of the 100-year-old Spanish flu pandemic, but they actually are, if for no other reason than to say that people can't blame China. Oh, and another thing, Chinese isn't a race, it's a nationality. Asian is a race. Dumbass. I'm not even gonna get into it because it's a whole other topic, but who really knows how or why this virus got out? Back to what Kareem Lou wrote. He finished his ever so enlightening op-ed by saying that, quote, the government's response to coronavirus was not a Nazi conspiracy, but it was Nazi adjacent, meaning that the same attitudes regarding race and class were being employed in determining who's worthy of government protection, unquote. Oh yeah?
Oh yeah!
If the Trump administration is determining their response based on class, then why is the same administration discriminating against people who make more than $99,000 a year by not including them in the big virus money giveaway? Please, explain it. I'll wait. You ever notice? It's always the people that never have anything to worry about financially that publicly bash people in the same tax bracket that they themselves reside in. If it bothers you that much, give away your wealth. The irony of this is that Alcindor stated that the overuse of comparing politicians to Nazis has, quote, diluted the meaning, unquote, of the term. But that's precisely what he did, because if he didn't, then this op-ed wouldn't exist. This is more about hating Trump, because that's what far lefties do, hate Trump. Trump could come out tomorrow and say that the task force has come up with a vaccine to treat the virus, and the media, along with people like Lou Abdul, would scream at him for not coming out with it sooner. These are the same people who talk about unity while being the most divisive piles of human refuse they can possibly muster. So what do all of you think? Does Abdul-Jabbar have a single point worthy of any level of merit? Or is Alcindor completely full of crap because Orange Man bad? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and a share. Those are the best ways to let us know you want us to keep these videos coming. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and dunk on that notification bell so that YouTube might actually let you know when MRC-TV comes out with a new video. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. For MRC-TV, I'm Nick Kangadis.